host for YouTube.
Yeah. I wanted Brother Omar to get, to be part of the live. I didn't want to get, you know how I am, Taalik. I don't like to give up on nothing. You know how I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, so.
Definitely.
I don't like giving up.
Right.
Because usually, when you get ready to give up, only thing you had to do is do it one more time, it would have went in. Because I was just about to give up and it shot on through.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so, you hear us loud and clear, Brother Omar?
Yes, I hear you very well.
Okay, all right. Well, we are live. This is the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I want to thank everybody for joining us this spontaneous afternoon. I'm the host, the mighty one, Angel Snub 7. I have one of my deacons in the chat room, Soul Brother 85. I'm pretty sure. Twin Pyramid, my other deacon, should show up in a little while. He should. And we ready to do this. we ready to roll. On speakerphone, I have the mighty Brother Taalik, and I also have the mighty one, our elder, Brother Dr. Omar. So I want to welcome them to this conversation. And I hope that we learn something and we enjoy. Just to enjoy the company of us together is good enough for me. And I love this.
Yes, sir.
So our topic that I've chosen for this afternoon, first of all, before I even get into that, I want to thank my brother Taalik right here in the public. I want to thank my brother Taalik for being my brother all these years and for tolerating my stupidity, my ignorance. And I know that I'm not one of the best people to get along with sometimes, but that's life. You can't expect people to be beautiful and caring and loving all the time. I have my mood swings. Sometimes I don't want to be bothered and all these different things. And Brother Taalik he's been there for me. And I know sometimes in his mind, I know you got to say sometimes, this Negro. I know you got to. I know you got to. I mean, it's human nature, But that's my brother. He's been here with me. He's there. Whether I'm doing good, when I'm making mistakes, and when I'm doing stupid things, whatever, Brother Taalik has my back, and that's the way it should be, all for one, one for all. But no matter how I act sometimes, what Brother Taalik do know, that I do care for us. I care about him, and whatever I got, I don't mind sharing. I'm there for us. I am the kind of person, all for one and one for all. I really believe in what the Nation of Islam taught me. If I have a bowl of bean soup, half of that soup belongs to my brother. I believe in that. But that was not my experience in the Nation of Islam. You had those who had plenty, and they wouldn't share nothing. They was proud to come to the temple, knowing brothers and sisters didn't have nothing, and they be showing off their cars, pulling out their big rolls of money, give you nothing. And they know I didn't have nothing. They know sister didn't have nothing. My relatives in the Nation of Islam have no children, real nice job, didn't give me a dime. The only time they gave me a dime, and they really didn't give it to me, when I was in the temple, they paid my charity, because if I didn't pay charity, it makes them look bad. So they gave me charity, not for me, but so I can give to the temple, because they didn't want people to say, wow, their nephew or whatever is not giving no charity or whatever. So they gave me charity so I can give it to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, so he can live rich. And I'm poor riding the subway train. I'm poor looking for a job, working in factories, I was working at a factory, and this I was working in a factory and I was doing this sanding on this metal, and this metal was sticking in my face. It's sort of microscopic. It's not microscopic, but these little shivers of metal was sticking in my face, making my face break out. Nobody cared. Nobody don't care what you're going through. As long as you give your charity, so the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan can live rich. If I can't, and I even heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say, I'm not going to ride around in a luxury car until we make them. And we don't make them, but the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan riding the hell out of those luxury cars. But that was another time. That's when he was more humble. But as he began to get more praise and get more people to follow him, all that went out the window. Now it's time for me to live good, high in the hall. I don't care nothing about these other folks. I don't care if you quit the Nation of Islam. I'll find another sucker to take your place. And that's how that organization, a lot of these organizations are run. When they are on the ground floor, how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? People all humble. But once they get to the point where they feel they don't need you, I don't care what I don't care what you don't like. It's our way or no way. Bye. And that's how it was in the Nation of Islam and a lot of these other organizations and even the individuals. When they broke down and out, it's brother this, it's sister that. They act like they love you. But as soon as they feel they don't need you, go about your business. I don't care if you quit, so what? I got a lot of suckers out here that'll take care of me. And you hear Farrakhan say all the time, my people take good care of me. Good care. Well, I wasn't. My relatives gave you that money in my behalf, but I wasn't giving you nothing, sir. I'll sell a bean pie and I'll sell those newspapers, but I wasn't giving you no money like that. You need to find you a job, like I had to find a job, Honorable Minister Farrakhan. But I just want to let Soul Brother Taalik know that he's much appreciated, and I really love him for being my brother all these years and putting up with me, because I know sometimes it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. But our topic for these few minutes, and we want to chime in on, we don't want to keep us long, is the nation of Liberia. Is that a better option than the Mississippi campaign? Now, Brother Taalik, matter of fact, it was Taalik that reminded me, and he sent me an article, not an article, but a video where this person was talking about moving to Liberia, and that's their function, is to build this relationship with Liberia and other African nations. But prior to the Mississippi campaign, I brought up the question about Liberia. And so I put a collection of these videos together and I posted it on this channel where I was talking about the nation of Liberia, not just going to Africa, but going to a specific place. And basically, I was presenting going to Liberia or helping Liberia, basically the same in kind of manner that I was talking about the Mississippi campaign. If you're going to go to Africa, why not go to a place where we have some type of similarities? We are familiar, because those in Liberia, they are related to us. They are the descendants of our people that went there. Well, how you doing, Sister Ingrid? Sister Ingrid in the house. She said, greetings to my #1 soul brother and the rest of my soul family. That you right, absolutely. So, and that's my thing. If you want to go to Africa, why not go to the best place that you can blend in and more familiar with? Because we are actual relatives. We know this. Why not help our relatives that's there, the people that come from us that's there? help build them up, because that's building ourselves up. If you want to go to Africa, instead of going to all these different, and see, some of us, see, look, you got to crawl before you walk. We all over the place with this African stuff. We want to take over the whole continent. That's not how it works. You have to crawl before you can walk. So I'm suggesting, why not let us look at Liberia? And I start looking at Liberia, and I wanted to go to Liberia. Matter of fact, I still might travel to Monrovia, which is the capital of Liberia, and see what's going on, and research some things about Liberia and go visit myself and check out Liberia. But if you want to go to Africa, go to a place where you have some type of connection for real. You don't have no connection to these other places at all. And even Liberia is foreign to you, because even though they are the descendants of American black slaves, that was a long time ago. They are now living their African life. They know they came from American black slaves, but that was a long time ago. They don't know nothing about living here at all, period. They don't know nothing about being a slave here. They don't know nothing about, they know a little of the history, but they are Africans. And they do their thing there. They've mixed some of the African traditions, I'm pretty sure, with what they learned in America. Matter of fact, the Liberian government is based upon what they knew, which was the American government. The flag is still, I think, like red, white, and blue or something like that of Liberia. They carry the government. Everything is based on what they learned from here, where they come from. Matter of fact, I think that's the reason why that civil war, that 10-year civil war broke out in Liberia, because it was a war basically against these who were the descendants of these American slaves versus the natives that was there, because these American slave descendants have a certain mentality and they thinking like the Peckerwood. And so there's going to be a conflict of interest, because you know that living in America, they capitalists, and they also greedy and very selfish. They only looking out for their own interest. They don't care about the effect on other people. But if you want to have, I think if you're talking about Africa, why not go to a place where you have some kind of connection with? But my thing is, I don't want to be under the laws and the domination of no people, whether it's our relatives in Liberia or Ghana or Congo. I want to be able to build up a place where we make the laws, we make the policy. I don't want to be there and become a citizen of Liberia. I don't want to go to be a citizen of Ghana or the Congo or Somalia. I want to be the one that gives citizenship. That's my thing. I don't want to be under the jurisdiction of somebody else. I'm the lawmaker. I'm the power. And we deserve that. I'm tired of living under somebody else's foot, their cultures. No, you come here and live under my culture that I created. You're going to put the money with my face in your pocket. That's what I want. And see, if you can't do that in America, take control in the state, how you going to go 6,000 miles to Africa and do that, and you can't take control of a state right here in America where you live? You've been here for the last going on 500 years. But all of a sudden, you're just going to take your happy ass, pack your bag, and you're supposed to run and do what? Obey those people's rules. You run from one plantation to another. That's the only thing that you're doing, because you don't run nothing. You're going to be under the jurisdiction and the laws, living under the culture of another person. But I guess you're more happy because now it's a black face that's kicking you in the ass. Because believe me, once you get over there, they're going to kick you in the ass just like the Peckerwood is kicking you in the ass. You think that those people, because you look like them or you have some kind of similarities, it's a lovey-dovey thing. There's no lovey-dovey even with your own biological relatives in America. Some of your own relatives will kick you in your ass. They'll throw you on the street. Your biological relative. So you're going to tell me that Just because I go to Africa, they're going to show me all this love. And they do when you got money. You can go there as an individual and a few of us, but when you talk about trying to move millions, that's not going to work. Especially not how our mindset is. We're not going to go over there. They would be killing us wholesale because we would be disrespecting them. Our behaviors, how we act in America, bring it over there, they're not going to tolerate it. And that's a fact. So it's better for us as a people, and we, like I said, a few handfuls of folks can go over there and you can do pretty well. But when you talk about moving millions of people over, that's not going to happen. That's going to be very disastrous. It's not going to work because we are different. We are not the same. We don't speak the same language. We don't eat antelope. I heard they eat antelope over there and other wildebeest and maybe some other animals or whatever. We don't do that. We're not familiar with that. I know they eat termites. I've seen Africans eat termites and ants and other strange food. They have fruits and vegetables that we don't know nothing about. I went into one of these African stores to look at the the vegetables that grow on the continent. And I don't know whether it's a fruit or a vegetable. What the hell is this? We live different lives. I don't want to integrate. You talk about you don't want to integrate with the white man. I don't want to integrate into a culture it's foreign, I don't know nothing about. It's a disaster waiting to happen. And whether you like it or I like it or not, we would be going there as foreigners because we're not the same. And many of them are not going to see us as the same. And I said this in my conclusion. I'm going to pass the mic to Brother Taalik, and then he can pass it to our brother Omar. We're not the same. So it's a disaster waiting to explode. So it's better. I think that the Mississippi campaign is much better because you hear, and you can create your own nation in the future because it's not going to happen on our watch. But you can develop a geographical place that you can control. When people come to Mississippi or whatever state that we are able to take control of, when they come there, I don't know what you do anywhere else, but when you come here to Mississippi, you're going to obey our laws. And we can even flip the script and create our own monetary system. So when you come to Mississippi, your money ain't no good here. You're going to have to exchange it for our currency and become part of our monetary system. It's a whole lot of things that you could do. I don't want to buy the land. A lot of brothers and sisters keep telling me about buying the land. I don't want to buy the land. I just want to control the land so it can benefit me. I'm not interested in giving some peckerwoods because we don't own nothing. I don't want to give them no money for land that our ancestors already bled and died and sacrificed for. Why should I give these peckerwoods more money? I'm not giving them nothing. I will rent it. I will lease it so it can benefit me like you do a car. I'll rent a car from Hertz, drive the hell out of that car, but they are the ones responsible for the taxes on that car. They are the ones responsible for the changing the oil and all that. I just want to lease it, use it so it can benefit me. That's all I want to do. And so I just want to control it. I'm not going to give you nothing. Now, in the future, when you have enough power and influence and you think that you're in a position where you think that you can actually own the land, that's different. But right now, you're not in that position. You're still living under the power of the United States federal government and all this nonsense, and almost anything can happen. So I'm not going to. So when you buy land, you make an investment. I'm not going to make no investment in this crap that somebody can come in, make all kinds of wacky laws and mess my whole game up. I'm not going to do that. I will be using it to benefit me. And while I'm doing that, one of the words that's in Operation Exodus Mississippi, should we need I'm looking at an alternative to get the hell out of Dodge, which could be going to Liberia, could be going to some African place. Who knows? But now you've gained power. The people have a different mindset. They are ready to exodus. And you, during this process, you sent your ambassadors. Matter of fact, the people that's actually living in Africa, those people that's actually live in Africa, you send your ambassadors out there so they can talk to the leadership, not to some of the average citizens. The average citizens can't do nothing for you. You're talking to the president, the lawmakers of these nations, and you strike up a deal, say, look, it's not working for us in America. Do you have some land? Because say, I don't want to be under your jurisdiction. I want to go there and be able to create and do my own thing. But this is what we bring to the table, sir. So you can make a deal with Ghana. They said, well, you got this block of land here or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can make a deal. You cannot make no deal when you have no power. But see, the Mississippi campaign would give you that power. It would give you that influence so you can make deals like that. And since you know how to run a nation, because you ran Mississippi, you ran Alabama, Tennessee, whatever we was able to control, now you confident in yourself. You know that you can run a government. You know you can live independent. So it don't make no difference. All you need is the land and the resources. You can go anywhere on this planet and be a happy camper. But Mississippi, taking control of Mississippi or Alabama or Georgia, that's us putting on our training wheels for something bigger. You want to go to Africa, you never ran no government, you no state or nothing. You don't know nothing about governors. Only thing you know how to do is be a manager. You go and they vote for you to be the mayor of the city or the governor of a state, being the manager of what they own. How is that? You don't have no experience being independent and running and controlling everything, only managing somebody else's store. A manager at Walmart is just a manager at Walmart. Other people actually run Walmart. You just manage a store. And that's all we do and have done in the 500 years that we've been here. So it's a way out. It's a way that we get our experience. It's also a way out. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that separation is a last option. So if need be, but it's better for us to be here because this is what we know. It's the last resort. Separation is. And the majority of our people, especially right now, they're not interested in going to no Africa, period. Their mindset is not ready for no exodus like that. But if you put them in a position, condition the mind, where they can see where they are confident in what they can do, and they've taken a poverty-stricken state, and you made it one of the wealthiest states in the nation, you get that confidence, and you also, at the same time, you're creating a alternative. You got an alternative plan to exodus, and by the time you need to be, the people are ready for that exodus. You ready to go. And I guarantee you, see, right now they wouldn't give a damn about us going to Africa because you, far as they're concerned, there's no real value. Good riddance to bad rubbish. But believe me, people look at you different when, like some of these men in these marriages, and they abuse their women and their children, but they don't really recognize the value, understand what they got till the woman said, I done had enough, I'm ready to leave. And then they start begging, because once the woman starts ready to leave, then he begins to understand what he's losing. And I guarantee you, this cracker wouldn't even want us to leave like that when they see your value. Because even though they might hate you, don't like you, But there's a lot of benefit for them if you stay and be here to help to continue keep this crap running. And I don't see why we can't play both sides. How come we can't seek independence and be like a citizen in Africa and keep our crap? Because we got a 400-year investment here. Why you just want to give it up? Talk about go from Africa and leave everything that our people died and bled for and let these suckers have it like that. No, you should be able to go in Exodus and do your own thing, and plus stay here and maintain the things that our people bled and died for. You can play both sides. I don't know. I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. So I would like to wake up in the morning and be in a place where everything is us. We control the electricity, the gas, the water, the laws. Everything is controlled by us. When I look up and down the street, none but us everywhere. And we see other foreign people now and then, come in and fix my sink or something now and then or whatever. That's what I would like to see. We deserve that, to have that opportunity for a change. We deserve to be in a position where we can feel good, we can take care of ourselves. And I don't understand that about Black men, soul brothers in this country. Because as a man, you want to be able to show your children and your women, look what I'm able to do for you. What I mean, the Caucasian woman gets angry at white men, whatever, but they really don't go bazooka, because when it's all said and done, they understand it was the white man that put them in the position that they are in today. The white man is the one that provides the electricity, the food, the land, everything. So they can't get too mad at the white man. They're men, even though they treat them second-class citizens and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but this man that took care of you. He bled and died and protect you. How are we as a man expect our sisters to look up to us and we don't do a damn thing for them? We can't even give them a drink of water. They have to pay the white man a water bill to get a drink of water. We don't provide nothing. But you want the honor, like you want the honor of somebody that's providing and protecting. You don't provide, you don't protect. And then you laugh at the Mississippi campaign. You laugh at the idea of going to Liberia. But what you got? Don't have a pot to piss in, except some talk. The black man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, God of the universe. Negro, take yourself back down to the plantation and eat some cornbread. You don't have nothing. And the women see you as you are. And you get angry at them because you know they know what you are. You're not no man. You're still a slave on the plantation. You don't act like a free man. You can't even get a drink of water on your own. Another man got to give it to you. So on that note, let me pass the mic to our brother Talib, and he's going to pass the mic to our brother Omar, and to talk about this subject here. Brother Talib.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Greetings, everyone, family. Yes, I just want to take a few moments just to say this, that first of all, I concur with all what Brother Taalik just said. And also, yes, me and Brother Taalik has been knowing each other for the past few years. And, we have a definitely healthy, harmonious relationship, and at this point, can't nothing break it. Mm-hmm. That's where I stand at. And I just want to say that, yes, we might as well just remain here in America and stick with the thing that we got going as far as the Mississippi campaign, because that's the only thing that's going to free us at this point. Talking about going to Africa, even over to Liberia, ain't gonna cut it. Worrying about, like this brother was talking about in the video, how Chinese is, other people are stealing resources from Africa, ain't got nothing to do with us here in America. You see what I'm saying? And also, it don't have nothing to do with us because we don't have no connection to the people over there, except for the ones that's in Liberia, okay? Because our people who were ex-American Negro slaves went over there and established the Republic of that country. Now, with that said, I want to point out something. Now, this brother talking about when he went over there to Liberia, he was expressing to the lady that was interviewing him on a podcast of how they welcomed him so wholeheartedly by telling him, welcome home, brother, without them saying, welcome to our country. They simply said, welcome home, as to assure him that he was at home. And I'm thinking about this, and I'm saying to myself, okay, so if Liberia is home to the so-called African American from the United States, who's been here over 400 years, going on 500 years, on the sojourn or bondage oppression, then why in the hell doesn't the government of Liberia, which was established by ex-American Negro slaves, provide us with easy access to citizenship without us even having to go through the red tape, since our people was the one that went over there and established the Republic of that country? See, this is the you know what I'm saying, problem I find. And this is what opens so many doors for questions. You know what I'm saying? How come they won't set us no plot of land over there in that country? You see what I'm saying? To where at least enough of us can resettle to make a place for other people among the 44 plus million of us as Black Americans to come over there and resettle and repatriate over there. You see what I'm saying? So still hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if I went over there and they told me I was at home, the first thing I tell them is then tell your government to make it easy without me going through red tape to become a citizen of that country.
Right.
Matter of fact, by right, we as Black Americans here in the United States should be citizens of Liberia. Once again, like I said, since our people established that republic. Don't that make sense? Just think about that. That's just like saying if the Cubans came over here and established the Republic of Florida, let's say for an example, and it became a strong political home for the Cubans where they control everything in Florida, then those citizens in Cuba will automatically be granted citizenship in what you would call the Republic of Florida, right? So, I mean, come on now. You know, it don't make no sense. That don't make no sense at all. You know, so once again, at the end of the day, Liberia is just another country in Africa as far as that's concerned.
Absolutely.
You know, when it comes to Nigeria, Ghana, the Gambia, the Congo Republic, Kenya, Sudan, you know what I'm saying? Tanzania, you know, the Ivory Coast, and so forth and on, you know. So I mean, we got to understand that we have no connection over there like that politically. Now, like I said, historically, we may have a connection to Liberia, but that's as far as they go. We don't have no citizenship rights over there. We don't have no citizenship rights or any other position rights to where we could get our feet planted over there to be in position to maintain some type of form of systemic power the way to benefit 44 plus million Black Americans who are descendants of slaves born in America. You see what I'm saying? So once again, all I see is, like that brother who I saw on that video that we basically basing this topic on, in this general discussion, you know, is that he was over there basically for their, you know, to try to seek their resources. Because even though he said he's not over there to try to use the people, but quite naturally, that's what most of them Americans gonna say when they go over there.
Right.
But they really aim to be trying to get at them resources like the Asians, like the Europeans, and everybody else that go to Africa. They don't care nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? She should have, the interviewer should have been asking him questions. Well, what is your purpose as far as establishing something for other Black Americans in Africa? And that's the question that those Blacks should be, that's over there in Africa, that left America and when they repatriated or expatriated over there. Them the questions that people should be asking them on them YouTube podcasts. Why don't, as far as putting the situation in place to where it'll benefit 44 plus million Black Americans in the United States. Mm-hmm. So miss me with that. That's why I stand on with that. Now, as far as that go, I don't care nothing about Africa on that note. Okay? All right now, there's too many of our Black brothers and sisters getting killed in the streets by the police. And we need a safe haven to protect us. We don't have no sanctuary. Right. As put in place for so-called African Americans here in the United States. These foreign immigrants could come over here and have access to sanctuary cities that will protect them from the grips of the federal government. Mm-hmm. But we don't have no protection at all. And we've been over here 400 years longer than they have. All our lives in this country. And we ain't got no kind of protection. Whether it's protection from racial police brutality, racial profiling, racism in general, you know what I'm saying? We don't have no protection from that at all. We don't, you know, we don't have no, we need, this is why it's so important for us to carry out this Mississippi campaign and to make it a success. And like someone was saying, like the brother was saying, well, we could take control of a couple other states to add on with that, like Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, Georgia, mm-hmm. South Carolina, and so forth on. You see what I'm saying? Because, and you know, our ancestors during the period of the Reconstruction era time in this country attempted that, but they were not in the type of position that we're in mm-hmm. to pull that off due to the Jim Crow laws and the vicious attacks by the racists in the South that was being dealt to them. You see what I'm saying? Right. So now we have more of an opportunity than they had to make this happen. You see? And we just lagging around while brothers and sisters getting killed by these racist peckerwoods in the streets. Whether it be over jaywalking, whether it be over because you looked at them with the language of law enforcement would say in an intimidating manner, or because you said something that constituted your freedom of speech. You see what I'm saying? Or because you just out there protesting mm-hmm. just to get some damn equality, and you get your hair blew off, or you go to jail over some crazy stuff. And a lot of times that may not even be your fault because you're just trying to stand for something that's right. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like what our people had to go through during the civil rights era in the 50s and 60s. You know what I'm saying? And it's still continuing on today in 2021. It ain't changed. Mm-hmm. Just the times have changed. And that's it. As far as the word change go, and the meaning of change go. You know what I'm saying? So like I said before, you know, with this situation, going on right now in this country, we need protection. As so-called African Americans, we have that. We don't have that. We don't have it politically nor systemically. Period. We don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we need that. And this is why this separation is necessary. It's at this point, it's not the last resort. It's necessary right now.
Right.
Just like that cracker governor of Mississippi said back in the 1960s, I forget what his name was, and really could care less, honestly, but he said, segregation now, segregation tomorrow. And I'm saying in an equivalent tone, like he said, separation now, separation tomorrow. Because it's important. This country will never be right until that comes into play. America will never be right. Just like the forefathers said, and of course Thomas Jefferson did say that even Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of this country, said the only way to maintain stability basically is that the so-called Negro American and the Caucasian must stay separated. The forefathers of this country said that because they saw ahead of time of what type of problem it will pose in the future, as far as our presence as so-called American Negroes in this country is concerned. So, like I said, we must understand that separation right now at this time is necessary. I'm tired of hearing about our black brothers and sisters getting killed in the streets, especially over nothing, by these punk-ass racists. Excuse my French.
Right.
You know? over some of the most pettiest stuff. I'm tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of hearing about these race soldiers mobbing our people, attacking our people at any given opportunity they could find to do so. I'm tired of that. And you should be tired of that as a descendant of dark-skinned slaves born here in America. You should be tired of that. You should want no more of this.
Absolutely.
Enough is enough. Even if you got to die, so our future generations behind us won't know how it is to be the N-word.
Right.
Then so be it. It's time to stop being punks and cowards and sissies. Whether you female or male, it don't make no difference whether you're a male or female. It's time to stop being a power cup and a punk and a sissy. Stand up for what you claim you say you stand for. And that's also to those pro-black conscious ones out there who claim they for separation, but their actions show different.
Right.
You know? So, like I said, hey, we need to take control of the state, starting with Mississippi. And we need to stop taking this for a joke. Just like the brother said, we need to be in a position where we can control our own water, our gas, our food, and our electricity. Well, we ain't got to be in no position where somebody got to give it to us. Just look at my hometown in Detroit, Michigan. You know, they cut a bunch of people's water off because they couldn't afford to pay the water bill. Because the water bill was so high. Because of the crazy politics dealing with that going on there. You know what I'm saying? When you had to have people from Canada to come across the border to bring bottled water. So people in Detroit, Michigan can have damn drinking water. What kind of stuff is that? Somebody coming from another country across the border into Michigan, so people in Detroit can have some drinking water. We ain't free.
No.
And Detroit is the most populated major city with blacks in this country. So what do that tell you? Why you think they misplaced all them people like they did in New Orleans? Because that was a predominant black city. And still to this day, many blacks by that, emotionally, mentally, and physically. This has been hell for us. And it needs to stop. We need to fight for our freedom. We need to take our freedom. And it's just that simple. Marching and voting, hoping that some politician gonna make it right, ain't happening. We already see the page that Joe Biden is turning, since a lot of blacks is the reason why he got elected. You know what I'm saying? He's quickly forgetting about us. Taking all day just to give out $1,400 in stimulus money when we deserve more than that.
Absolutely.
Especially for the way our ancestors died building this country, with their blood soaked in the land of this country. We deserve zillions of times more than that. But we just got to take it because ain't nobody going to give it to us.
Nope.
You know? And we think this is some kind of game. This is not no game. These white folks can cut off our water, our gas, our lights at any given time when they want to. And they ain't got to have no explanation for it.
No.
And what you gonna do about it? What the hell you gonna do about it? Tell me out there in the YouTube audience, the social media audience that's listening to this live video, what is you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing. This is why we need to take control politically of a state. And it's just that simple. And with that said, before I end up getting, you know what I'm saying, over emotional, because I don't really get emotional on this platform, but I have to tell you, I just heard, I won't say who told me, because that ain't necessary, but I just heard a young brother in Chicago just got killed by the racist police again, and it was over jaywalking. I'm gonna repeat it again. It was over jaywalking.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, it was over jaywalking.
Jaywalking.
Yeah, it was over freaking jaywalking. So, like I said, we got to do something. Our future is in jeopardy as so-called Black Americans who are descendants of slaves born in America. Our future is in jeopardy, and our future generation's future is in jeopardy. And with that said, for now, I'm going to pass the mic to our elder, Dr. Omar Shamsuddin, and brother Shamsuddin, you can take over from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So, I'd like to thank Brother Taalik for making it possible that I join you on this particular broadcast. And I would like to extend the greetings of peace to all of my beloved brothers and sisters, and to my fellow moderators here. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
An interesting subject. When I was first told about it, I said, well, heck, I don't really know that much about Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I went and did some research on it and looked it up, and then it came to me that it really doesn't matter where we would like to be in Africa, the continent that is called Africa, because I'm positively sure that we all know that Africa was taken over just as we were taken. The only difference was we were brought here and they remained there.
Mm-hmm.
But they were still taken over. So then I asked myself a question. I said, what is it? The underlying reason why it is that we were taken from our motherland. And that is that another people came and found people scattered. Even though our numbers on the landmass was many, they found us scattered. And as any predator does, in fact, it's the nature of a predator, is to find the weakest kill. Now, a predator is not going to go into the big herd of animals, whether it's a lion or a tiger. It's not going to run up in that big herd of and just start jumping at, because it knows that there is no way possible for it to beat all of those prey that is in front of it. So it finds the one that has strayed away from the majority.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where that predator go and attack that one. That was our problem in so-called Africa, and that is our problem here in America. And that is that we are too divided. We can't have safety if we're divided.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do anything of value for us. We can't have safety. We can't have economic development. We can't have the respect of our women. None of this, because we are too divided. So if the indigenous ex-slaves here in this country want to know where our strength is, our strength is in coming together as one. Now, I know that it is pushed by our so-called elites, because they want to justify their monkey asses leaving the masses of our people. So they say that we are not a monolithic people. To justify not coming together and being one, because they have sold us out. They sold the masses of our people out, because any I mean, any civilized people know that if you come into education, you go, you get that education, and you come back and you have your family. You don't take off and go somewhere else and leave your family thrown under the bus, so to speak. And that's pretty much what our elite in the indigenous ex-slave community in this country have done. They have abandoned the masses of our people. And then when they get up and they get their prestige, so-called, because the bottom line is, the white man of America will never respect a traitor. He'll use you, but he'll do like he do with any informant. Treat you like you are a piece of garbage. So our people, even though there are those amongst us that have went out and became what one might consider successful, in the eyes of the oppressor, they are still niggers. Mm. In the eyes of the other whites in the society, they are still niggers. Mm-hmm. That's why you can have an Oprah Winfrey go into a store and be treated just like she don't have a dime to her name. If she go into a store where she is not known, they look at her and they will follow her around that store. They would think that she can't afford what's in that store. I'm not hypothesizing. I'm telling you what actually happened. I remember Eddie Murphy and a lot of comedians talked about the experience that they had trying to flag down cabs. So I say to black people, indigenous ex-slaves in this country, that we are monolithic. We are monolithic in our color. We are monolithic in our status. And these are questions that I would ask before venturing to another country. What status would I have there? Am I a citizen? What is the path to citizenship? Mm-hmm. How stable is the country? Because we know that those countries go into a lot of wars, a lot of coups happen, and when that coup happens, how protected would I be? Because mind you, I'm in a land, a foreign land, that I am not accustomed to. I'm in a foreign land that owes me no allegiance. So am I going to be that stray animal that the predator, when it comes, will devour? So these are questions that we have to ask ourselves. How stable is the economy of the country? How stable is the individual that leads that country? Who are their enemies? Mm-hmm. What is their status with the United Nations? And other African countries? What are the potential for growth? Can we have dual citizenship? These are questions that we would have to ask ourselves before even considering going to another country. because we don't want to leave a bad situation as something, a saying we used to have, jump out of the frying pan into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We as indigenous ex-slaves, we have to utilize intellect. We can't make moves emotionally, because that is one of the major reasons why we are in the situation that we are in this country. Is that we are making a lot of emotional moves. Someone get killed, we run out in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional. What are we going out there? What are we going in the street for? We're going in the street asking someone else for protection, when all we have to do is come together and protect ourselves. Well, how do you protect just ourselves, Omar Shamsuddin? We protect ourselves by, if one of our people are killed by a police officer, if one of our people, I'm talking about our innocent people,
Mm-hmm.
are killed by gang members, street hustlers, we don't ask any questions. We go to them. And we don't go to them asking them kindly anything. We go to them and we deal with them like the creep that they are. If you kill one of us, you must be killed.
Mm.
We're not asking the white man to arrest you. That's the only way it will stop. And if someone amongst us turns state evidence, kill them.
Mm.
Black people, you've got to understand that there is a price to pay for freedom. There's a price. And if you're not willing to pay, then stay on the plantation.
Mm-hmm.
At least the white man is feeding you. He may not give you no money, but he's feeding you. And you can live out the rest of your days until your due date comes to transition. As we've been living for God knows over 400 years now. It is really just that simple. Come on, man, think about it. We have between 35 and 45 million black people in this country. Why are any of us hungry? If we just got together and gave $1 a week, that's $35 million a week. What if we gave $1 a day? We don't have a financial problem. We have an individual problem, because we are so hell-bent on being individuals that we don't understand where our true strength is. Whether it's in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, with $35 million a week, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we willing to pay the price that Hispanics paid when they first come to this country, that Indians paid when they first come to this country? They come families, they'll put a sheet up, and they will sleep in that room, and then and this guy don't have to worry about the guy on the other side of that sheet trying to sneak under the sheet and fuck around with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to pay the price? No, we so much want to be like white people. Well, they got the big house and accepting. Man, you are third world people living in America. Face that reality. And then say that the only way that we are going to live in $1 million house is that every last one of us can afford $1 million house. If we have to, as black people, live in trailers to get our liberation, we should be willing to pay that price.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, trying to think and act as white people act, who have a 400-year jump on you, you're kidding yourself.
Absolutely.
You will forever, ever be an underclass in this country. Don't even think about going to Africa, because those people ain't got no money over there to give you. And you ain't got no money to take with you over there.
Nope.
So who's kidding who? A man told me a long time ago, look, man, he said, you can lie to everybody else, but don't you dare lie to yourself. Because when you start to believe your bullshit, you got problems. But what I'm basically saying, my beloved people, and believe me, I love you with every ounce of my being. What I'm saying is that we don't have a problem as a people. I'm talking to indigenous ex-slaves, the black indigenous ex-slaves in this country. We don't have a problem we can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
All we got to do is come together. And say, we're going to start from where we are and build from there. Keep your jobs that you got. Keep your unemployment. Keep your welfare, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to sacrifice $1 a week out of that. If I can give more, I'll give more. But I'm going to sacrifice $1 a week toward my liberation. And then make sure that when you put that money in, nobody can steal it.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone do put their hands in the cookie jar, you know the deal, kill them.
Mm-hmm.
They won't enjoy it. That's what it takes. This is real talk, not flowery. This is what indigenous ex-slaves, black Americans, so-called black Americans in this country have to do in order to be liberated. And we won't worry about our enemies. If they come against us, we will deal with them.
Right.
And we're killing each other off for what?
Mm-hmm.
The gang member said, this is not, man, you don't own no damn land. How is it your goddamn neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're that fucking predator. Pardon my expression, Brother Taalik, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You're that predator that preys on the weak. so bad, go out there and deal with these police officers killing our people. But you won't run up on them like you run up on the poor people in our neighborhood.
Nope.
Black people, we go to jail every day. If you see a police officer abusing one of our people, two of our people, attack that person.
Mm-hmm.
Go to jail. We'll get you out. There's no way in this world black people should have been standing around watching George Floyd die.
Mm.
So the person that we should be marching in the streets against is us and our cowardice. Because they don't care about you taking pictures with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know they're not going to be prosecuted. There's a saying in the Holy Quran, the Muslim holy book, that the murderer of a Muslim must be murdered. That is a philosophy that we have to take on as a people. I'm not asking you to become no Muslim. I'm telling you to take back your dignity as men. And you won't have a problem. Look, man, don't you know that these police officers don't run down a bunch in Chinatown?
Mm.
They got bigger gangs than we got. There's more drugs being sold there than we sell. There's more prostitution than prostitution going on in our neighborhood. Why is it that the police don't run up on China down in Chinatown?
Mm.
Because they know that those guys will take a sword and cut their freaking head off their body. And think nothing of it. Cut their head off, sit down and eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
A predator only go after a weak prey. We need to get together with our grassroots people and let them know we gotta come together. We can't depend on our elite people to help us. They've already abandoned us. To be quite honest, most of the so-called black leaders should be visited at midnight at their house. Ring the doorbell, they come, throw a blanket over their head and whoop their asses. For abandoning us. For taking advantage of us. None of them are worth the title leader.
Mm.
And that's all of them. Minister Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So to get back to the podcast, come together to love people. That is the only way out for us as indigenous ex-slaves. Whether it's the Mississippi campaign
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, we got to come together. And what we need to do is elect our own president. of us.
Mm-hmm.
Elect our own Congress, representatives, governors, mayors. We need to do this. But I promise you, the answer is not running off to another country.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are not in a position to accept 35 million people.
No.
You think President Trump is talking about building a wall? And it's not, and it's not that I don't believe that there are those amongst our African brothers and sisters that love us,
mm-hmm.
who truly believe that we are a prodigal son that needs to come back home. But in order for that to happen, just like we have a price to pay for liberation, they would have to pay a price to let us back in.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as dignified human beings, shouldn't want to put that burden on them. When we go back to so-called Africa, we should have gotten our act together here, and we go and we deal with Africa through treaties.
Mm-hmm.
We establish trade with them. That's how we go and deal with other men. These white men, they don't ever want to give black people reparations. Don't want to do it. What they want to do, they have long since made a decision to keep us where we are on the bottom, because they could have very easily given us the reparation that we are due.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's stopping them from doing it is their cold heart. They don't see us as human beings. My question to you, black man and woman, indigenous ex-slaves of here in America, how do you see you?
Mm.
Do you see yourself as a dignified, honorable human being? Or do you see yourself as a beggar?
Mm.
How do you see you? Do you see yourself as an equal man to white men? White women? White children? And when I was a kid, we had to call children Mr. and Mrs. Of course, we fought it. We told our parents we will fuck them little motherfuckers up. Well, I call them Mr. and Mrs. And that was before we knew anything about civil rights.
Huh.
It's just that the growing man in me would not allow me to do that. Why am I going to call a kid Mr.?
Huh.
Why am I going to call a kid Mrs.? Bring the damn whip out, whip my behind. Because I'm not doing it. Didn't do it then, will not do it now. So, my beloved people, let us answer those questions. How do we see ourselves? And let's stand up as men and women. Woman. And take our liberty. Brother Taalik. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Always. Thank you, brother.
And thank you, my beloved people, for tolerating my ignorance. Okay, so I'll finish on that.
Thank you very much, Brother Omar. I just want to bring this to our talk to conclusion. I just want to say a few things and allow you brothers also to give your closing statements here. How you doing there, Kamizi? Nakmeezy. Peace to you, brother. I want to say this as we close this session here. Very powerful, very powerful words from our brother and Dr. Omar. I can't win for losing here because I take so much heat from certain folks calling the Mississippi campaign, oh, that's a pipe dream. That's not reality. Now, just because of Brother Taalik sent me a video, and this brother, I forgot what the name of his book is, but anyway, he's talking basically the same type of thing that we are expressing here on this platform. And also, our friendly neighborhood troll, Alquan, earlier gave an example of people who basically was trying to do the same thing. So it can be done. It's not a pipe dream. The pipe dream is that your lazy, happy ass don't want to do nothing at all. You are actually comfortable in this cesspool. That's really the problem. The problem is not me. The problem is not the plan. It's not a pipe dream. It can be done. Our people was doing it. You're not making mockery of me. You make mockery of the Mississippi campaign. You are making mockery of your ancestors. And the brother in that video expressed the same thing and said the same thing I was saying, that our people was doing this anyway. It's not our idea. They was doing it. He said the same thing I was saying. Because of the terrorism of the South, it stopped their progress and caused them to flee the South. Made them go north, west, east, or whatever. And because they was doing it anyway. Just the natural progression of a people. So we are in a position to do what they couldn't do. Now, you selfish, you are selfish people. And this is what I mean by being selfish. Why Mississippi? How come it can't be my state? How come it can't be Georgia? How come it can't be New York? Where I live? Because it's like I told you, it's the path of least resistance. It's a poverty-stricken state. Nobody really cared too much about it. It's the path of least resistance. You cannot try this in New York. All kinds of forces going to come to try to stop you. You can't do this in certain places because we don't even have the numbers. Have you ever heard of this rapper called Nelly? Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. It wasn't Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. It was the Saint Lunatics. Nelly was part of a group called the Saint Lunatics. And they put their record, they submitted their records to the record companies. And the record company, the label, did not want the Lunatics, the St. Louis Lunatics. They saw something in Nelly that they liked and wanted Nelly as a solo artist. Now, see, this is the way you got to look at it. We are all over this country. But Mississippi is the solo artist. And what happened with Nelly was, okay, because Nelly didn't want to take the record deal because they would not accept the St. Lunatics. But the brother said, you can get us in the door. Go, Nelly, and sign the contract. Get us in the door. So Nelly was used to get the St. Lunatics that nobody did not want in the door. So in order to get into this door that I'm looking at, We're looking at Mississippi. Help Mississippi get us where we need to go. That state and doing what I believe, not what I believe, what I know that we can do with that state, it'll help us get in the door. Help. So the St. Lunatics supported Nelly. And of course, you know, Nelly blew up Country Grammar. Oh, it's hot in here. And all those Nelly do. Nelly brought them in. And every one of the lunatics, the majority of them, had a solo record. He got all, the St. Lunatics did a record on their own. And some of the like Murphy Lee, had his own solo records. Nelly got them into the industry. And they're doing very well. They got vegan restaurants. They got these different businesses going on. But they supported the one who could get them into the door. This state, if we support the state and use our talents to put this state in the position that I know it can be in, it can bring all of us. It's going to help the whole 40-some million of us in this country. Help you get to Africa. You want to go to Africa? It'll help you get to Africa. You want your own independent nation? All these things into a reality. You got to start somewhere. But many of you are so selfish. What about me? What about me? You can't do it. They don't want you. You're not in the position that Mississippi is in. And see, they are already in the position. They just don't know what to do. We know what to do. And we have the talent nationwide. We have the talent to get this job done. We know how to put down roads. We know how to build a lot of these different things. We have the knowledge because we've been doing it for white folks. We got the talent. We have the money. Like Brother Omar was talking about, $1, $35 million a week or a month or whatever. Bring that to the state of Mississippi. Let's put that in the coffers. Let's deal with competent people. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to sit your happy ass down. You put people into positions where they're competent, not because you like them. I'm not going to put nobody in a position because I like you. Can you do the job? Because we need results. And see, once the people start seeing results, once the people start seeing something that you produce, that you can see, not talking about crying in the sky, not talking about what you think you can do. No, they actually see the buildings. They actually see you growing organic chicken, organic vegetables. They see what you're producing. Now, at first they were skeptical. Now they're like, this is working. And pretty soon the people that didn't want to give, because people want to get on board something that's successful. Our problem, and a lot of us hold out because I'm tired of donating, I'm tired of investing into things we were losing. And I don't blame you. But you got to I'm asking us to give us one more chance. This can work. I know it can work. With all of us working. Don't depend on me. All our brains, plural, not Taalik, not Talib or Brother Omar. When we are successful, I want to be able to say, look what we did, not what Angel Snuffed Up 7 done, the Honorable Minister. No, what we done. I want to be able to go to your child, because like I was saying, I want you to take a picture of your little child that can barely walk, put a seed in their hand. Take a picture of them when they can barely walk, putting a seed in the ground. So when they get older, you helped us become successful. When you was a baby, could barely walk, you was putting seeds in the ground. This builds pride. This builds strength. Not giving credit to a few handful of folk. No, I want to be able to take the homeless person and the drunk. I got something for everybody to do. Because you may not believe it, but drunks can help. Oh man, now you talking some crazy stuff. Look, y'all do it all the time. It's brothers that get high and drunk, but they have talents. They know how to fix cars. They know carpentry. They have skills. A lot of us, we go to them, give them a few dollars, buy them some liquor, whatever, and they work on your house. They fix the steps. They fix your car. We already doing that. Everybody go to work. And you put them to work, and then you see what you can create, what we've done. It can be done. It could have been done a long 50, 60, 70 years ago. They couldn't do it. That's our job. We can become the greatest generation ever produced. And we should be ashamed of ourselves passing this mess to future generations when they don't have to deal with it. They can work from something, a good platform, a less stressful platform, because we already done it. This is our job, not to enjoy the fruits of our labor. It's our job to take the hit, to sacrifice, to suffer, and to die. We are the Jesus for them. But you're so selfish. And a lot of you actually just like living. You actually like living slaves. I mean, you like this life. That's why you don't want to do nothing. You actually like this. You like the cesspool. You enjoy the stench. You enjoy the urine bubbling up. You enjoy the little turds floating around. You enjoy it. I don't. I want out. I want to get out the cesspool. We better than this. We have greater potential. As long as you stay here, you're not going to be able to grow. You are doing yourself a disservice because your growth is limited by another people holding you back. So you have to get out from under their grip. You won't be, you don't understand. Y'all talk about how great you are. You talk about how fabulous and supreme that you are. How are you going to be that as long as you are under the domination of another man that won't allow you to be great? And with that said, I'm passing the mic straight on to Brother Taalik, and then the closing remark to Brother Omar. He can take us out of here. Did you want to say something to close out, Brother Taalik? No, something happened. Are you there, Brother Omar?
Yes, sir.
I don't know what happened to Brother Taalik. Did he go to sleep? Did you have some closing remarks, Brother Omar? There you go.
Oh, I apologize. I hit the mute button.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But anyway, in my closing out statement, I just want to say that, to add on to what I said earlier, and I just want to also kind of, additionally add on to what our elder, Brother Dr. Omar said. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the injustices against us as a people, whether it's coming from our own or whether it's coming not only from the races, but also even if it's coming from other groups in this country, mm-hmm. we must take justice into our own hands and deal with it, even if we got to deal with it severely, and I concur on that note because I've been watching over the past decade, how, so-called, indigenous Black Americans have been getting ran up out of their own communities. Like, for one instance, in Compton, California, in the Los Angeles area, you have these gangs like the Crips, but these Mexicans could come through there and terrorize them and their families. And when they terrorize their families, they ain't nowhere around to be found because they so busy trying to go after another black gang like the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Where they ain't focus on protecting their families and their home front, as far as the community they've been in for years. You know what I'm saying? So as a result of that, the Mexicans now control Compton and pretty much they are the majority in California, even more of a majority population than the Caucasian is in California. So, I mean, you know, we need to understand that this is not just happening in California. This is happening all over the country. Look at how the different groups, especially the Caucasian, has infiltrated back into Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Lately, I've been watching, you know, videos on YouTube about, you know, other black people that have been getting victimized by, you know, small-time street hoodlums in Harlem because somebody didn't want to buy them liquor, or because somebody opened up the door in their apartment building and told them to keep the noise down.
Mm-hmm.
So they simply attacked them, and these were two soul sisters. You see what I'm saying? And like Brother Willie D on one of the channels, on one of his videos said, we need to deal with these suckers.
Mm-hmm.
Which those, you know, we need to deal with them. We don't need to keep on sitting back accepting this. You know what I'm saying? And like Brother Omar said, we don't even need to go to the white man. We need to go straight to the perpetrators of the crime, even if they do look like us, and deal with them severely.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll stop all this crap. See, this is how every other community protect their own. Whether it's the Chinese community, the Korean community, the Arab community. Look, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, okay? And the Arabs got a big population there, right outside of Detroit in Dearborn, okay? In Dearborn, Michigan. And you know, the police don't mess with them. Like, of course, the police mess with us in the black community. If the police in Dearborn get called, they'll tell the Arabs, look, we'll let you handle it, long as it don't get out of hand. Because I had an Arab. I think it was a Yemenis guy when I was dibbling and dabbling in Islam. And one day we were at a local mosque in Detroit talking about it. And he straight up told me, whenever the Dearborn police come to their neighborhood, they let them know, look, long as y'all keep it under control, we ain't got nothing to do with it. And the police going about their business. See, that's the type of relationship we should be having when it comes to dealing with law enforcement. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like every other nationality in this country does. You see what I'm saying? This is why you don't see the Arab getting profiled or harassed in the streets like we do. This is why you don't see the Hispanic getting profiled and harassed in the streets like we do. This is why you don't even see the Caucasians getting harassed and profiled in the streets like we do by law enforcement. You don't even see the African immigrants getting harassed and profiled in the streets like you see indigenous black Americans getting racially profiled and harassed in the street by law enforcement, because they, as a community, got unity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we don't have, you see. So anybody could just come in on us, you know what I'm saying, and target us and do whatever they feel, because we don't have that self-respect and integrity enough for ourselves and each other to protect each other from harm's way, whether it's coming from us or anybody else outside of our group. You see what I'm saying? So we need to realize this is a real live reality going on in America.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not to be taken lightly nor for granted. And you know, I feel like at this point in time, you know, of course, because of iniquities like the drug epidemic and stuff, the black community has become weaker in that sense. Where it was a time where, you know, Caucasians couldn't even come in our neighborhood and do what they want to do. even during the 60s, even during the times we grew up in the 70s. I remember that far back. It was a different time and it was a different element in the black community where you could leave your door open. You didn't have to worry about nobody going up in there stealing nothing. When you got back home, everything was the same in place. Everything was in place the same as it was when you left out. You see what I'm saying? Children were more under control. You see what I'm saying? You know, the youth was more under control. There was less violence in our community. You see what I'm saying? We got to get it. If we want to get it back to that, it's definitely necessary that we take control of a state. Where at that point, then we can have a bigger platform from there to take control of our own destiny without somebody taking control of it for us. You see? So this is the situation that we find ourselves in as a people. And you know, I want to just say also that we have to realize and understand that you know, our women are hurting out there. Our soul sisters are hurting. And they are never going to respect us until we become the man that we proclaim and say that we are. You know what I'm saying? You know what, to be honest with you, I don't even care if you are a you know, soul brother who's in a marriage or in some type of a monogamous relationship with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? But if you show that you are a man, you know what I'm saying, for your people, and that you're willing to die and protect your people and your community, then your woman will still respect you. You see what I'm saying? Because I see many other different nationalities who's dating outside their race or married outside their cultures, but they still put their culture first when it comes to protecting them as a group of people and as a community. Okay? So that's not, you know, black, you know, sisters have gotten to the point that they just see that we ain't nothing. And not only because they've been programmed like that for hundreds of years to look at us as that, but because of the fact that we have proven and shown that we are not nothing but little babies and little boys. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, that's just the reality of it. You know, so we have to understand and recognize this for what it is, and you know, we can't stop. We can't keep blaming each other. We got to work together. We got to put all this blame game to the side and do something about this.
Exactly.
And one thing, like our brother said, piggybacking off of what he said, was the so-called leadership from among our community. We need to deal with them. And I mean deal with them. I'm talking about deal with them swiftly and severely. And also pointing out the fact that, yes, I concur. The racists don't respect the trader and never have. He didn't even respect the house Negro on a plantation. So he definitely don't respect the house Negro today. Okay? They'll take them and dump them off somewhere for dead, dump them off somewhere and leave them for dead or whatever, and replace them with somebody else. That's just how that's always been. You know, and you know, like the brothers, like back in the 60s, I think it was Ron Karinga, the one that started that Quanta stuff. They said it was said that he was an FBI informant. And then you had another, you know, soul brother that was an FBI informant, to the point where he committed suicide because he knew that he couldn't walk around without looking over his shoulder because of how he portrayed the movement struggle back in that time when brothers like Fred Hampton was getting killed off in Chicago by the racists. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to understand that this situation is serious. We got to hold them type of people accountable for selling us out. There's no more waiting around. Accepting them as our leaders. I don't even look at them as our leaders. The more and the more I look at that situation, I don't even look at them as our leaders. That's why I simply, whenever I speak on a platform, I simply refer to them as so-called leaders because that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't die or go to jail like Martin Luther King Jr., like Malcolm X did, if they wasn't sacrificing like that, they ain't no leader.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't sacrificing like Ibn'rad, Vesey, and ēt terna. They wasn't no leader. And that's just that simple. You know? These Negroes need to be dealt with. And I want to say something worse, but we speaking live on the podcast, so I don't want to say nothing to seem incriminating or to seem malicious or as a terroristic threat, which I don't intend to do, but I wanted to say something else worse in comparison when the brother said we need to put a sheet over them and beat their butt. You know what I'm saying? I want to say something worse, you know, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But they definitely need to be dealt with severely. You know what I'm saying? Because they've sold us up under the bus and left us for the sharks to eat away at. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, that's I mean, because you know, we are at a point of being headed for extinction or extermination, like the so-called Native American in this country was, when there was tens of millions of them, like it is tens of millions of us as indigenous Black Americans today in this country. You know what I'm saying? And we won't be the first and we won't be the last group of people to get exterminated. But if we do something like taking control of a state to begin a new path and a journey for ourselves as a people to change our reality in this thing, it wouldn't have to be that way. And hopefully it won't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, we better wake up, because we can either take our freedom or we could, you know, keep going down the path toward extermination. And it's just that simple. And with that said, I'm going to let our brother Dr. Omar Shamsuddin close us out.
Thank you very much, beloved. I want to start basically where I left off, and that is that we don't have a problem that we can't solve. As a matter of fact, as something was taught to me in math, is that the answer to the problem is within the problem. It don't come from without. The answer to the problem is within the problem. You know, and the major thing for us is we just really got to get serious. You know, get serious, get educated. And what I mean by educated, I mean educated on what it is that we want. I mean, you can want something, but you have to find out what is the price that you have to pay, and then make a decision that you're willing to pay the price. And if you're willing to pay the price, all doors will open up. And I say this to Black people, indigenous ex-slaves, so-called Black people. You know, is that if you want the white man to do right by you, if you want the white man to give you reparations, show him that you don't need it.
Mm.
And it's almost like when you go for a loan. They only give loans to people that don't need it.
Right.
If you can show them on paper that you don't need that loan, they will quickly give it to you. And I'm telling black people, so-called black people, indigenous ex-slaves, if we just come together and give ourselves reparation, give it to ourselves. That $1 a week or that $1 a day, that's $35 million. $1 a day, $1 a week, $1 a month. We just gotta get serious. And we don't have to change a thing. Because $1 is not going to make you nor break you, but it will make us as a people. We have to, beloved indigenous ex-slaves, we have to be about our own reconstruction. And I guarantee you, the white man will come up off that reparation. You know why? Because he can't stand to see you do anything without him.
Mm.
How long, Congressman Kanye been asking this devilish-minded people for over 40 years to even consider reparations. They wouldn't even let it come up in the Senate. And we have to realize another thing, is that the President of the United States don't hold the purse. It's the Congress.
Right.
That group of white men that could care less about giving you anything. So, but we can give it to ourselves. What will we look like 5 years from now if we got together and gave $1 a day, $35 million a week? What could we do? And we will be men and women and not asking anybody but ourselves for our liberation. If they want to throw us reparations, that's gravy. But I'm telling you, we can do this. And can't nobody stop us. Your liberation, black man and woman of America, is in your hands. I just gave it to you. I just gave you your reparation. How bad do you want it? Or are you going to sit around and still beg the white man for reparation? When all it's going to do is cost you $1 a week. And then with that money, we can buy whatever we want to buy. We can build whatever we want to build. We can make Exodus to Mississippi a reality. And you're right, Brother Taalik. There is a brother that they got him all over the news. He's written a book.
Mm-hmm.
On exactly what you're talking about, on exactly what you are pushing. I mean, it's as if he copied it.
I think we was before him, though. we was talking what we're talking about before, you know, his book came out and what he's advocating.
But I listen to him. He's no dummy.
No, he's not.
You know? But the idea is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a viable idea. Now, maybe they have, we understand the cunningness of white people. They will find someone who is less who speaks less, not so harsh.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. Push the idea. It's still Exodus, Mississippi.
Right.
It might be who you, Brother Taalik, get in touch with that man.
Yeah, I've been trying to look up his information and see if I can contact him.
And we can form an alliance with him, because the white man has already put him on international TV.
Mm-hmm.
With this idea. Whether he came across your material or not, they have already put him out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we will use that to our advantage.
Exactly.
I listened to him. I watched him on YouTube, and I said exactly what you said. This is exactly what Brother Taalik is saying.
Mm-hmm.
And you're absolutely right. It's something that we naturally did, but it's just that the racist whites ran us up and down here. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right again, is that it doesn't make sense to try this up north, to try this out west.
Mm-hmm.
The land and stuff is too expensive. The living conditions are too expensive. This has to be done down south. And get the heck out of those crazy behind cities. It has to be done. Listen, man, we don't have a choice, to be quite honest, Brother Taalik, because what they're doing is, through gentrification, they're pushing us out of those cities anyhow.
Mm.
That's why the whole gentrification process is on the way. Is that they want us out. I used to live in a place up in New Jersey. I went back there after 10 years. I had to really, really, really look hard. In fact, I almost couldn't find. You talk about a city that was almost 100% black.
Mm-hmm.
Could not find them. Hispanic people are everywhere.
Mm.
And the white people who are homosexuals. They have moved in and taken over that city. Who had 40 to 60,000 people in it. Where did the people go? Where did the blacks go?
Mm.
That's happening all across the country. And what is going to happen when they finish taking over everything in the north and out west? Guess where the next move is going to be?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They're coming south. We had better jump up, get ahead. Look, any real estate developer would tell you, you find that a direction that a city is moving, you go and get land in that direction. Now, the least that you can do is sell back that land at a higher price And we're telling our listening public that the place to be is down south today. The place to be is Mississippi. Mississippi is about the poorest state in the union.
Right.
And guess what else, Taalik? You know this. A whole lot of us are there.
Yeah. Already.
Thank you so much, beloved.
You're welcome. I want to say just a couple of things before I close. The views expressed by my guests are not necessarily my views. We all have our own way of looking at things. So I don't want folks to think that everybody here is on the same page. Everybody's on their own. We might agree with each other on certain things, and then we might not agree. So the views expressed on the panel is not necessarily what I express. So I just want to make that clear. And that's just to say, like you brothers was talking about, you know, basically whooping somebody up and killing folks because they betrayed us, you know, these elites or whatever they are. I can't do that. Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm, you don't have to condemn a dirty glass. Just put a clean glass next to it. I don't think we have to run around beating folks up and taking them out and lynching them or whatever because we feel as though they have betrayed us. Because some of those people would be like the fictional Paul of the scriptures. I believe it was Paul who hated Jesus, who hated Christ, but later on he became one of Paul turned into Saul, and Saul became one of the greatest advocates of Christ. So, you know, I don't want to do. It's not, you know, for me, it's not that serious to run around and, you know, murdering our people and hurting them like that. You know, they don't know no better. A lot of them just don't know no better. I just put my clean glass against their dirty glass and allow the people to choose, because you don't have to worry about them no more. Anybody with any kind of common sense, any kind of sense at all, they're going to choose the glass that looks the cleanliness, the clean glass. So I don't. You know, I can't do that. I did want to make another point, but hell, I forgot what the point was. And I guess I talk about it'll come back to me after I leave the broadcast. But on that note, we're gonna get out of here. I want to thank Brother Omar for participating, and so Brother Talib and the Deacons of Reality, and that one brother, I cannot pronounce your name, Nak Mizi. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I like his videos too. And I know what it was. It was something. I know what I wanted to say. Because Brother Talib can bear witness. While we screwing around, Brother Talib, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Bear witness that there was a white guy that contacted us, and he wanted to get with us to ask us about how we plan on moving forward with this Mississippi campaign, because as a white guy, he wanted to get his group together and do the same thing. See? So you don't know who's listening to our words. They might beat us to the punch. You know, you got a white guy out here that want to take his little group, talk about taking control of the state. You got Hispanics in California. They are already in the position to take control of California. They are already in the position to do that. So we're going to mess around. Somebody's going to take the idea that come from us first, use it for them. Next thing you know, we don't have no state to control. You think that you're on the bottom. You're really going to be on the bottom when something like that happens. And like Brother Omar said, now where you going to go? I guess you're going to go out into the Atlantic or the Pacific. I guess that's where you're going to go. Where else can you go? And when things like that happen, you think your situation is worse. Believe me, it has gotten even worse. Worser. Is that a word? It has worsened. I don't know. So I don't beg people. I'm not going to get on my knees to beg nobody to do nothing they don't want to do. You know, I'm not going to try to convert you to any kind of belief. You know, just like Elijah Muhammad used to say in his books, take it or let it alone. I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to go out of my way, do nothing. You know, if you want to do this, I'm on board. Let's do it. If you don't, that's fine with me too. I'm not a hero. I'm not divine. I'm not a messiah. I'm not a savior. If you don't want to help yourself, what do it look like for me to help somebody who don't want to help themselves? I help people and give aid to those who I see want to help themselves. You enjoy this life. You enjoy what's going on. You don't care. So, all right, well, you suffer the consequences for your actions. We suffer the consequences of our actions, whether it's bad or good. In this case, you making the wrong decision, you got a real bad consequence that not only affects you, but it's going to affect the ones that you claim that you love, your great-grandchildren and those of whom you would never see. So you are a liar. You don't care nothing about what they're going to have to deal with and what they have to suffer. When the ball is in our court right now, we can change the whole direction. We can take our destiny in our own hands. And that's another thing. When you go to Africa, you want to talk about going to Africa, you want to go to all these different places. All thing we're doing also is putting our destiny, our future into the hands of somebody else. I'm tired of my destiny, somebody else being able to control us. I want to be in a position where, again, we have an opportunity. We want to be able to control our destiny in our life for a change. I'm tired of being a slave to these gods. I'm tired of being a slave to these men or aliens or whoever. Sick of that. You and I deserve, after 500, going on 500 years of living in hell, you and I deserve an opportunity to govern and control our life, whether it's good or bad. I want to be able to do my own thing. I want to be like the Godfather soul when he sung, I want to get up and do my thing. And that's what we represent here. I'm not interested in being no slave to nobody, period. On that note, let me get out of here. Thank you for listening. Again, thank to my panel, Brother Dr. Omar, Brother Talib, the Deacons of Reality, those in the chat room, those who are listening, and those who will listen to this broadcast later on. I appreciate you. It's always an honor to be able to come before you and talk with you. It's an honor because you don't have to give me none of your time. But I guarantee you this is the best place to be. Ain't nothing happening nowhere else. They don't have it going on unless they are related and associated with this. They don't have nothing going on. I guarantee you, this is the best place on the planet to be. With that said, as Dr. Cornelius used to always say in part, I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we outie 5,000. Thank you, brothers. I'm gone. I got to eat something, you know, all that kind of good stuff.
All right, brother. Peace.
Peace, peace.
I think, brother.
You're welcome.